Is there a thought that he'll be available for you to start this series?
Yes.
I know we've seen the guys a little bit, but in terms of overall health, and I mean, are your, I guess, guys ready to go other than George?
No, we expect George to be ready to go.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, I guess is anyone else injured or maybe not available to you?
No, everybody should be available.
How do you try to help George through this? Obviously, he's playing through a bunch of pain. Sometimes when you try to play through pain, you get other injuries because you're trying to do that. Just how do you try to help him through this process?
I think he's a veteran. He's just got to, I think, take care of his body, in the weight room and all the exercises and different things they're doing to, strengthen and prepare him to be ready. And then he's just got to go play. I think he's playing through some stuff, but he's fine too. They're not going to clear him if he's not ready and clear and good to go.
A couple of years ago, Vucevic had a big game one against you guys, and you dropped one to the Magic. Just kind of what goes into the preparation for defending him?
Yeah, I mean, we have so much respect for him, and him being in the East and the playoffs, from a couple years ago. There's a lot of I guess starts with respect, but attention to him, and but that's part of what makes their team good. And DeRozan and Levine and him in a two-man game, the pick and roll game, it's tough to guard. And so our guards have got to be good. The less they get screened, the better we are. And we have to probably mix up our looks on Vucevic, and to some degree, when you're mixing up your looks on him, then it's probably means you're mixing up your looks on DeRozan and Levine. So, but there's an awareness and a respect for him from lots and lots of games against him.
Are you getting stir crazy? It sounds like Brooke was definitely stir crazy yesterday.
Yeah, no, I mean it's hard to wait this long for a game, and I think well, I guess there is debate. It seems clear to me that the play-in tournament and everything that's happened over the last few days is very, very good for our league and good for our sport and the interest in the games and the competitiveness. For the teams that are waiting, that's probably one of the few drawbacks or negatives to the play-in, but it's a long time to wait to Sunday to play.
And then two of the games you guys played against the Bulls, you did see Levine and DeRozan out there at the same time. Kind of what is the challenge of both of them when they're out there and when they have a lot of work in for them?
Yeah, no, I mean they're both elite wings. At the 2-3 spot, I think they're both all-stars, literally and figuratively. And you've got to have great wing defenders. You got to have guys that have discipline that are ready to defend the whole night. There's really never a break. One of them's going to be on the court at all times, and they're different. So it's. I think DeRozan played all 4 games, but, the fact that Levine only played 2, we're aware of it. We need to be prepared for him. He does a lot of things at a high level.
Free throw attempt totals fluctuated wildly in the games he played against y'all. Just how tough is it to keep him off the line? How important is it to do that?
Yeah, no, he's incredibly good at getting to the free throw line. I think we've spent, probably more time and effort throughout the season and continuing this week to try and just understand all the details, all the small things that it takes to defend him without fouling. But the mental discipline, the mental toughness, and you still got to guard him. If he's making shots and scoring without free throws, that's not good either. So it's part of why he's such a great, offensive player.
It's hard to come up with new feature ideas for Chris and Giannis if we've covered them from day one. So here's my attempt.
Try coaching him.
Chris, I think, is an underrated passer, and I don't mean just the alley-oop, I mean the baseball pass, the awesome bounce passes. I wondered if you have any, not rules for him, but if there's any definite no-no where because he does attempt some risky stuff sometimes, and it usually works. Is there anything that you work with him on that, or is it just full trust at this point?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say it's full trust. I think, his playmaking and the variety of passes that you just kind of went through and is just, it's very unique. And, I mean, I think as a team, when we're not turning it over, we're better. It's kind of an obvious one. And, and same for Chris. But I like that he's got kind of the confidence, the freedom to attempt and make some tough passes, and I think you just continue to put faith in him. And yeah, he really doesn't have any rules. Throw it to us.
When you talk about being kind of stir crazy at this point, so what do you kind of get out of today, that final day before I actually get stepped on the court for game one?
Yeah, it's just a final dust up. A few more things that we can talk about, a few more things we can focus on. A couple more reps for us offensively, and just get ready. It's we feel like it's close and we're ready to go.
This is the most normal regular season in 3 years. That said, with what Billy's going through with his staff, Paul George, you kind of have to have I don't know if it's a constant reminder before or a final reminder of, hey, there's still, the pandemic is ongoing to a degree, and teams are being affected. So is there some sort of thought there of just to kind of remind the staff and the team of to get through this stretch?
Yeah, I think the approach, I think there's lots of things in the playoffs that, require a little bit more attention, require a little bit more, maybe conversation or mention. And at the end of the day, what our country's gone through, what the league's gone through, our players, families, it's part of that conversation. We can't forget. And, there's been a lot of positive movement, and I don't know. You just don't want to forget. You just got to know that it's still out there. It's still, and I think, when we had the conversation, what happened with the Clippers and Paul George hadn't happened, and the coaching staff with Chicago. So, but I'm guessing those things, pop up in conversations in the locker room or at baskets and things like that. And it's just, it's not good, but in the sense of just being a reminder and a conversation, I think it's helpful, and certainly our guys are aware.
A lot of
Last
coaches
one.
struggle going from college to pros and vice versa. Billy's a guy that's been successful at both levels. Why do you think he's been able to make that transition?
Yeah, I think, there's probably a lot of things, but I think, his humility, his ability to connect and communicate with players, I just think it's at a high level, and you need that to succeed at either level. But the types of conversations and maybe the flow and the interactions may be different at different levels, and it may play to different coaches' strengths. It feels like he's in his comfort zone and in his strength, regardless of where he is. I was fortunate to coach Al Horford. Loves Billy Donovan. Like, that's his. I was just hoping I could be in his shadow. And I think you talk to players, you talk to coaches. He's a great coach, and his humility stands out to me. And he's a tough, competitive guy. You can just see it and feel it when you're away from him.